Hi there, Cancer. I'm EllaAradia, and welcome to your January 2026 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Cancer water signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you. What I find though is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Cancer signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoy this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Cancer, let's jump in. So I always like to just tune into the energies for a moment before I start pulling cards, Cancer. I see a lot of change in your recent past. And in some ways, for some of you, it almost feels like it's a sense of it being a forced change. But it never really is. You know, I feel like there are kind of higher forces at play here. But I do get the sense of, you know, kind of a major tower moment where there's been a lot of, you know, things falling apart, disappointments, hurts, things that you thought was solid kind of crumbling, not working out in the way that you wanted them to, or the way that you thought they would. And I feel like, you know, there has been a lot of healing that's been going on. I feel like you've been having quite a tough time of it. You know, whatever these things are that have broken down or come to a close, a lot of it, I feel, has really kind of triggered old issues which really did need to come up for healing for you. Because what lies ahead of you is a big expansion of energy. And I just keep hearing the words here, Cancer, that if you were to just allow yourself to let go into, you know, this new chapter, this new energy that I can see coming in for you, because I just feel like there is so much there in that energy for you. So your overall energies, we have the Three of Swords, which really is what I'm talking about. You know, what I was hearing was, you know, almost this sense of feeling like your heart's been cracked open. And, you know, this energetic wounding through these disappointments and sadness and things like that. And of course, you know, those wounds are really where the light gets in. And it can be challenging, it can be tough. But I really feel like, you know, there is a moment here to, first of all, just be willing. You know, sometimes we don't have to force ourselves, you know, to do something, to let go of something or open up to something. The first step really is about just having a willingness, you know, being willing to let go, being willing to forgive, being willing to, you know, open up to perhaps something new, something more. And that's all you really have to do. Just be willing. What lies in your recent past, we have the Fool, which are, you know, the energies that I'm really talking about here, the beginning of a new chapter. And it may well be one that requires you to let go in the energy of just having faith. And trusting, even if you can't see the destination, you don't really know where this new path is leading. You know, the Fool is all about just embracing the unknown with an open heart and really just trusting in your path here, Cancer. often comes up at a moment where maybe we just need to take some kind of leap of faith. And so I feel like you're at this point of this energy of a major significant chapter that is opening up in front of you. Your current energies, the Six of Cups, and this is what I feel might be holding some of you back. You know, the Six of Cups is all about nostalgia. It's about revisiting the past, revisiting, you know, good times, old memories, moments where, you know, we felt happy, we felt loved. Sometimes it represents, you know, somebody from the past showing up again. Your feelings towards your situation, the Ace of Cups. Your challenge, the Empress. That's the challenge. That's the challenge of a new beginning. Because the Empress is all about new beginnings and rebirth. The Empress is always, you know, birthing something new, whether it's a new idea or a different way in which perhaps you're showing up in the world, showing up inside of yourself. But there's something from the past or somebody in your past, I feel that you're struggling to, let's say, move on from, you know, because we have the Three of Swords here, which is heartbreak, sadness, loss. Some of you may, you know, be in a separation from, you know, whoever this person is. But with the Ace of Cups there's still an openness. You know, I feel like this is someone that, you know, you still have some love for. A little part of your heart's still open. But at the same time, you know, we've got these energies of the Fool here where the universe is really kind of calling you forwards, Cancer, I feel. And the challenge is really about embracing that. Because the caution that I'm getting here, you know, with this Six of Cups is, you know, we tend to go back to the good times, the good memories, moments where we felt loved, you know, the happy times. And of course, that's usually not the whole picture. And it's really important to see the whole picture of, you know, whatever this situation is or whoever this relates to in your past. I feel for many of you, this is a past connection that we're looking at here. For some of you, it might be career. You know, like I said at the beginning, it's the theme is the same, and you know, the lessons are the same. But it might show up in different areas of your life. It could be a job or a place, you know, somewhere that, you know, really has a lot of your heart. But there may also be something that, you know, wasn't 100% fulfilling. You know, there's a whole picture to this, and I think it's important to not cloud our vision with, you know, illusions. The hidden influence here is the Six of Wands. This is a card of, you know, recognition, acknowledgement, you know, being recognized, you know, whether that is for a skill or something that you have really put a lot of work into in terms of career. It's very much a moment, though, to just take a pause and look at how far you've come. You know, because I do feel for many of you, this has been a difficult time, and there has been a lot of, you know, issues that have been triggered, you know, through these wounds and these disappointments. And a lot of healing, a lot of growing and healing. I do really feel that. You know, sometimes it's not always comfortable, you know, when our, you know, things from our past, our issues get really brought up to the surface. But you will get through the other side of this. And with the Six of Wands there, it might be about taking a pause and just looking at, you know, how far you've come in all of this, how much you've grown, and really just taking a moment to acknowledge that, because that can be a very strengthening thing to do, you know, moving forwards. But I do feel there's a different path for you, whether that is in location, it might be related to home, a move, career, or a person. I do feel like this is about, you know, moving into a place of trust, trusting that there is more out there for you. You know, there's connections you haven't made yet, experiences that you haven't had yet. And I do feel like there's a little bit of a caution here to not get, you know, hung up on the past. Don't let the past hold you back. Your advice from the universe is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is really the master manifester of the tarot. It's a little reminder that you have everything that you need in order to create whatever you want for yourself. You know, often this is related to career and, you know, creating a certain lifestyle for yourself. You know, you have everything that you need, and you have the ability to manifest that now. And I feel that comes through the growth, the healing, the honoring of, you know, your true needs and what you really want in a person or in life. And when we do that, we shift our vibration, which allows us to attract a person that can actually mirror that back to us, rather than one that doesn't. Because I do feel that whatever this situation is, it's one in which, on some level, your needs were not met. And that's what, you know, this healing process has, you know, really been all about for you, Cancer. So what lies in your outcome? The Eight of Wands, often a card of momentum. You know, it usually comes in as a green light from the universe to, you know, make some kind of swift move or action. For those of you that are in a no contact situation, this can indicate, you know, messages coming in. You know, if you're blocked from each other, somebody might unblock, they may send a message. But it's also about movement. And I do feel like that's the universe again, just giving you a little bit of a nudge here to, you know, start taking some steps forwards. Even if, like I said at the beginning, the first step is just about being willing to perhaps open up a little bit more to new connections, new experiences, and new possibilities in life. So I'm going to leave that there, Cancer. If this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, no matter what comes through in a reading, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, and I wish you a great month ahead.